Meg, if you are trying to say something, you are on
Yes,
mute.
I was muted. I just realized that. They can't keep track. Some of these things they automatically mute you, some they don't. Good morning. How's everybody?
Ah, um, I'm fine. How are you?
Just fine. Somebody seems to have started a recording. Was that deliberate?
Uh, I have no idea who started it because uh, Bhavya was on the call when I joined, but no one was apart from us. No one was
Yeah,
present.
yeah. When I joined, so it automatically says that recording starts, but I didn't start it, so I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, goody. Will it let you stop? And then I will record this for people who can't be here.
Okay, wait.
That's interesting.
But if I, click on more, so it is showing me record option, not anything related to stop recording. So
Oh, interesting. See what happens if. Please ask the host to give you permission to record. Okay. So it must be that whoever joined first became host. Well, congratulations, Bhavya. Oh, Lord. Well, whatever.
Maybe Bhavya, you try to click the option for record. Maybe you can.
yeah. It is saying that please ask the host to give you permission to record.
Right. And I think I've been on some calls where I think whoever is the first one on becomes host, but then there's some other people. If they come on, they become the host because I'll get a little thing that so and so is now the host. So maybe one of these people will join. We'll see. Give people a couple more minutes. I was expecting some more people. So you guys are all in India, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yes. So what time is it there?
It's
11:30
11:30
a.m.
morning. Yeah.
Okay, so not a terrible time for you. Good. It's pretty early for Europe. Oh, there's Simon. Hi, Simon.
Hello, good morning. Sorry for the delay. I was in the wrong Zoom channel. I thought it's the community link. And now I needed to log into the CNCF page and everything. That's why I'm delayed. So.
Oh, okay. Well, we've got Bhavya was the first one to join on and it started recording as soon. And so Bhavya is the host. And we don't know how to stop the recording. So we are recording everybody's chitter chatter right now. So don't say anything nasty.
I have no problem with that. I just need a second. If you have questions, I'm hearing you. I'm just out in the kitchen. I need to get my coffee. Else,
okay. Enjoy.
I'm not working properly.
Enjoy. Yes. It's 7 a.m. for Simon. So, but he said he could do this. He'd get the kids off to school and then he was wide awake at 7 a.m. So have you all looked at the agenda? Is there anything you would like to add? Actually, let me see if it will let me share my screen. There we go. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. You should all, the way these meetings work is add your name here.
Yeah,
so
we are
know
able to see your screen.
Okay. Add your name there to show we're here. This is my proposed agenda. It's up to everybody else what we're gonna do. This is a community meeting. We can pretty much do anything within reason. I thought I would briefly go over the proposed doc structure since it's pretty so you can see that where we're headed. We have finally got the contributing.md file merged. I thought we'd look at it. And depending on who shows up, we have a couple of people who are trying to contribute to the docs who are pretty new to GitHub and are totally confused by everything. So if we have people like that here, we can walk through. If not, we'll just skip it. A mention about style guide, look at a couple of open PRs, and then discuss for how many of yeah, I know you've got stuff going. You've got open PRs too, right? You're working away on stuff.
Yeah, so I have started working on two things. The first one is the Helm restructuring, in which I think Adam is facing some issue. He is not able to see the difference between the control plane and one more thing I forgot, but it's there. I have not changed anything. I'll look into it again. The PR which the link of the PR which I gave to you as well and asked you to view. So maybe you can also have a look at it once. And
Sure.
the second thing is I have started working on the Keptn lifecycle toolkit demo on Killer Coda. But the thing is,
Oh,
it's a little complex for me because it involves scripting and other things as well. So I'm just looking into it and at the same time learning. So we'll keep doing, and as soon as I reach a solid platform, I'll let you know.
okay. If you do it, you'll be a hero, and I actually think you'll have a lot of fun. The
Yep.
other people who've worked on these things have had a lot of fun, and you'll learn a lot. So,
Yeah, but I must say that Killer Coda docs are really, really good. No, if you just read them once, you'll understand the whole concept easily.
right, and it's amazing how hard it is. The first one, Adam and I worked on together, and all I dealt with was content. It takes a lot of work to get the content right, and there's places there where you have to wait for 3 minutes while Killer Coda sets things up, so that some people aren't just sitting there bored. Use the time to give them something to do or something to read. So, it's a fun project. So, Yash, Aish, do you want to add your PR to the open PRs list to discuss?
Yeah. So can you just give me the link of this doc, because I always misplace this link. Now I have the
Oh,
link of community meeting, but I misplaced this link.
okay. Let's see if I can get to it. Oh, because I have something up here telling me that somebody's running closed
You can just click the share and then you'll get it from there. The share button on the
Oh,
top right corner. Top right corner.
where I'm seeing, I get stuff in the, there we go.
Yeah.
You want me to share it with you then?
Yeah, so you can copy the link and paste it. No,
I see. Okay, we'll get the copy link. Gotcha. Yeah, it's late enough in the day. I should be coming to life, but I'm not, obviously. So now, where now I've got names over everything, so I can't get to where I put something in chat. Shoot.
I always
Uh,
struggle finding Zoom chat as well.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna stop sharing for a second, and then I can get to chat, and then we can paste that into chat.
Yeah,
There we
thank
go,
you so
and then we'll go
much.
back and share screen.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead if anybody else joins us. Proposed doc structure. This is in an issue that was approved a couple of weeks ago at the refinement meeting, I think it's called. Anybody who wants to go look at it for more detail can later. The docs right now are for KLT are kind of a mess. This could change in the future or whatever. It's probably not perfect, but it was a structure that we can get started and get populated and get some stuff written up. It's amazingly easy to move stuff around later if we want to. So there will be a getting started guide of some sort. Hopefully we will have a Killer Coda demo to use there. Right now we have something which is, you can go, is probably what, so. Something called a product overview or intro. Right now it's called Intro to KLT. But it's sort of a high level overview of what this product is and why you would want it, and probably some links. We have a lot of people who do really good videos. They go around to conferences, so we'll have some links in there for that. Functional architecture overview, architecture, and Amisha is working on drafting this as we speak. This is the product overview is for people who are brand new to this and want to know the basics. The architecture overview should be kind of a deep dive for people. Once they get knowing what they're doing, they want to know what's really happening under the hood. It's essential they know that when something goes wrong so they can debug it. It will take a while to get this together, but like everything, we're going to make incremental improvements, and we'll be surprised in a few months how much better things will be. Installation. Right now, we have almost nothing about installation. The Getting Started guide just tells you how to install what you need for that, and there's a lot of things. So we need a whole section that goes through every possible step of things you need to do for installation. Again, we'll start with the easy stuff and we'll keep adding. And then there's the user guide for how to define and manage a KLT project. I called it a project. It probably should be called an Keptn application, but all the stuff about defining your CRDs and putting it together and all of that. And then we'll have some reference pages. Right now, for definitely API CRD reference pages, we're still working on the format. There are some up there. We want them to be auto-generated from the source. I want a little more text in than you get. So we're working on how we do that and what those are going to look like. So we have a start. There will be a lot of work coming. And then we're going to do a contributing guide. For those who are used to GitHub, traditionally, every repo has a contributing.md file in it that tells you what you need to know to contribute. Our story is pretty complicated. We end up, because we've got software and docs in the same repo, we have two different contributing files, and they've got duplication, and there's some in one of them that applies to both, and it's all kind of a mess. And we think it would be cleaner if we just had a separate contributing guide. We may eventually have technical product information that will be only relevant to people who are contributing. It could grow in that way. So, and we'll talk more about that. So that is the quick overview of where we think we're heading. Does anybody have any questions?
So, are you thinking about having a separate repo for contributing guide, or is there anything in between I missed?
A separate repo for the docs?
Okay.
Yeah, no. The engineering team wants to have the docs in the same repo as the software. I have some reservations, but we'll work on it. It seems that they feel it's easier if it's all in one place. So for the foreseeable future, they will both be in the same repo.
Okay.
Right now, all of my docs are failing the code coverage checks, and it doesn't matter, what is code coverage for a doc file. So, okay, so that is that. Next up, actually, I think are any of you not familiar with Git? Yasha, have you done any GitHub before?
Yes.
Yes.
So you're comfortable, you
Yes.
know how to fork and clone and create a new
Yes.
branch and all that?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
The people who've been bugging me for this here, let's skip the offer. If anybody needs help, the contributing.md file for docs is finally merged and beginning in line 147. The one thing I would caution you, we've already had one person get burned, and I myself have done this. So when you finish working on one branch and you push it and you want to start something new, be sure to go back and pull down the current version of main before you do your checkout -b. Otherwise, you will end up, your next PR will have what was in the previous PR as well as the new one. The person who did it, it was fairly easy to clean up. She'd only done one file. When it happened to me, I had 18 files and it was a mess. So, style guide, we don't really have one. I have to confess that I'm not a huge fan of style guides. They are useful. It's nice to get some consistency. I am sort of proposing that maybe we just use the Google and we can whole effort our own. It's pretty good. I don't know. We're certainly not enforcing things, but if you need anything, it does have a lot of good advice in it. And it on its first page it says, if you make the documentation better by violating the style guide, please do it. So I like their attitude. But it is there if you need help on things. One of the things they have is a very nice, comprehensive list of terminology, products and actions and all sorts of things. So if it's useful to you, use it. The one thing that we would, that we really do need to do is a word list for Keptn terms. And so in that vein, I started, and I mean started, a Google Doc that should be open to everybody. And basically, if it's something that you want to know, you know, can Kubernetes, does it always have to be spelled out, or can we use K8s, the short term for it? Helm versus Helm, can I use lowercase Helm when I'm talking about Helm chart, or only for a command? Product term, we don't have a whole lot. But the beginning section is product and project, just global stuff. And then we have a section for KLT specifics terms and a section for Keptn LTS words. If you have any questions, feel free to add it here. When we get enough, we will, either in this meeting or community meeting, we'll start going through them one at a time and discuss as a group what we want to do and what we don't. And then I will use that to generate our own word list over time. So, but again, it's not the end of the world. Okay, open PRs. I have one that I hoped was going to be closed by the time we met, but it didn't work out, but it will be soon. For those of you who started with our docs, we have getting started, and we have a little intro to KLT in it. And so this is, and I already pulled up Netlify on it, so here we go. It's not wonderful, it needs to be expanded, but this is the beginning of just an introduction for new people. And it will be merged soon. You script and some information. We get a lot of questions about what's the difference between LTS and the lifecycle toolkit. And there's a little bit of information and then some interesting videos. Again, not exciting, and it will get better. Okay, Amisha, you want to share? I will stop sharing. Do you want to share your screen and show us what you're up to?
Okay, I can share my screen. Not this one. So I created a architecture related information where I am thinking to give the brief about every directories here. So I'm thinking about this idea and I want to know if this is good to go or not. Am I audible?
Okay, yes.
Okay.
Oopsie, stop sharing. Can we see it again?
Yeah. this in this way we can like give a brief about every directory, that what each directory is going to do with that thing particularly. So is it good to go or not? I just want the clarification about this.
Good to go, meaning ready to put out for review.
No, I want to know that it's this idea is good to go or not.
I like it. What does everybody else like? Have any of the rest of you tried to look at the repo for the project?
Sorry.
Has anybody else tried to look at the source code?
For the lifecycle toolkit, I have not yet because I haven't dived deep into it, but I'll surely do when I'll deeply start for making Killer Coder demo. Maybe then I will be able to participate into this issue.
Okay.
Do you think this would be useful to you to have this sort of a listing?
Yes, I think it will be useful for if I think from the beginner's perspective, it would be very useful as
Yeah.
well because it will be easy for me to navigate between the files as well.
Right.
Right.
Because
Okay.
beginner also face this issue that which code lies in which file and in which directory. So it's good thing. Like I also like this idea.
Right. And then what we talked about is she'd have this, and then under that she would have sections, and like for docs, because then you've got to dig down into docs. And under docs, there's
Yeah.
a whole bunch of junk that you barely care about. And you go down 3 directories and then you get to what you're looking for. So yeah,
Okay.
I think it's real useful. Is this in its own PR, Amisha?
Yeah. This one is the pair.
Simon, what do you think? I think you should push it and put it out for review, and let's see what people say.
I already reacted
Okay.
with thumbs up. It looks good.
Yeah. That is
Okay.
another trick here too. Small PRs are wonderful. You can't always do them, especially in documentation, especially like when you start moving stuff around. Sometimes you can't avoid.
Okay, ma'am.
But small PRs are good. Incremental improvements are better. There's, when you guys
Yeah.
are still in
Right.
school, and I started out, I was thinking of the term paper. I couldn't publish it until it was complete and wonderful and, everything. And it's like a little bit, I think this much will help a lot of people out. It'll help them out more when you get more populated in, but incremental steps. So I think this looks better, ready for review. Let's see what the gang says.
And one more thing I want to suggest that like one thing, can you see this link?
The link you just
I
stopped
sent you.
sharing in
Yeah.
chat.
I sent
Okay.
you in the chat.
Let's see.
So I am thinking about the README also, that the README is right now we have a very cluttered README with the architecture description. So what if we like set the links and all the things with that, and remove the architecture descriptions and set the links of docs there?
Right. Yeah, I think
that would be more clear and like more enhanced.
right. I
Because
think once we take the part of it is the engineers are much more comfortable just writing up what they know in a README file than they are getting into the docs. There are exceptions, but a lot of them. In general, I do not expect to go to the README file and wade through it and find the architecture description. Once we get that, and they, of course, they say they want it in README because it's easier for them to keep up to date, but you notice they have not kept this up to date. So, which, human nature, and they're wonderful people. So, but when you get this into the documentation and we get it updated so it's accurate and we merge it, then I think we go back and take that content out of the README. Because we don't, it will be very confusing to people because the two are not going to match because the README information is not up to date and yours will be up to date. So
yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And you can always, very appropriate for a README file to say if you're looking for an architecture description, go here. It maybe the README file should also, or just a link to it may be a big link to the docs or how to install or
Hmm.
whatever.
Hmm.
But yes, the duplicated information we'll want to get out of there, I think.
Right.
So is that you? Is that all you've got then to show us? You don't want to show us the
Sorry,
architecture?
ma'am.
Do you want to show us what you've done with the architecture or not yet?
For the architecture, I was like, I was sending the diagram of the components, but I think Simon told me to create this, recreate this with mermaid. So I will recreate the component architecture with the mermaid feature.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Just I did not say you should. I just recommend it because mermaid is.
Okay.
So I can, if you like, I can also give you a short introduction to mermaid and show you what it actually does. If that's
Okay, you can.
if the others
Yeah.
also want to see that, because I think that's beneficial for our documentation overall.
Yeah, because it's based on the code. That's why it's more good
Yeah.
to go
I
with
will
that.
show shortly. There's a really good live editor called Mermaid Live. So I even tried with your graphic, tried around what we can do and what would be maybe a good way to handle it. So there are different types of diagrams. So you can create sequence diagrams, you can create flow diagrams, class diagrams, and everything really as a. It does not look really beautiful in the end, but it offers
It's
offers
legible.
our basic needs. And for example, as I choose now the mind map, for example, for this diagram you had, because from it looked the best compared to. Do I have the flow chart still? So we have here this is some attempt what I did with the flow chart, for example, and this is the attempt with the mind map, and it's quite easy because the mind map, for example, I have my beginning with my node, then I say there is the operator with its with the operators, with the life cycle and the metrics operator, and I can easily add here another operator like the, I don't know, call it tooling operator.
Or
And
trailing operator.
the good part, I can also add a fancy scheduler here, and I could add here another documentation part. And the cool part about this is code, and GitHub also is able to render this code. So when we copy paste this and we take an issue, for example, and write here a comment, I'm just not sure about the syntax, just mermaid GitHub markdown. I just need to look. Okay, it's like that. So when I add this now within this fenced code blocks with Mermaid, GitHub is actually able. Wait. Oh, they do not support mind map. Okay, let's do it with the flowchart then. So they're actually able to render those flowcharts, and we can also, even Hugo is able to render those, and those diagrams are easy to adapt because other diagrams, if we do them with a graphical tool, it's always the question which graphical tool was used, how to store those files for the graphical interface if we want to extend them, etc. And when we write them as code, this is easily read and easily adaptable for close to everybody, let's say it that way. So
then is the code what's stored in assets?
The code is stored within the document. You put the code. You can put the Mermaid code in Hugo directly into the README file.
Can I put it into a markdown file?
Yeah, you put it simply
Yes.
into the markdown file.
Cool.
And
This is more good.
I think that's a really big improvement because it removes this dependency on any kind of
Diagrams.
UI tool to create those, and it's also you can change them in the pull request easily because you can just suggest edits to the markdown file rather than saying, hey, we need to do this now differently or things like that. Because for example, we have this issue with the Keptn documentation that some of those charts are outdated. Now somebody needs to find where those are stored or need to recreate them. manually to fix those issues in the files. And with with Mermaid, yes, they are not as beautiful as you can make them with a nice graphical tool, but they fit the purpose really well. Too early. Really well, and we can leverage a lot of features from them, and they're really powerful.
Do you want to put a link either in the meeting notes or put it in chat and I'll get it in the meeting notes?
I do not have the meeting notes open. I put a link to the Mermaid documentation, also to the Mermaid overview, and there is even a link. No, not Mermaid Live. It's and this, where's the chat window? Sorry, I need to look for the chat window. So I put the link into the chat. You can, as our Mermaid JS is even available for works even on GitLab, etc. It's really widely adapted by now. So
Fabulous. Anybody have any questions? There we go. No, we don't. Oi. Can we get it into? There. No, we got the wrong thing. Okay, I'll do it after we're done here. Okay. Let's see. Ayush, do you want to share and show us what you're up to?
Yes, I can, but just a second. Let me get the correct. Yeah. Yeah. So I made this PR in which I structured the documentation for Keptn Helm prerequisites, and I made few changes in one PR. But the mistake I did is I also, made some changes in contributing.md. It was just a type of fix which was not a good practice, and I'll keep in mind from the next PR. But the thing is that so what I did is I basically merged two pages for installing Keptn in your local system for Helm. So if you go to documentation and in installation, so I basically merged install Keptn using the Helm chart and choose access options. So these two pages are being merged because these two pages contain usually the common content, right?
Okay. Oh,
So
go ahead.
If you go to this, you see that there are options given to you to access Keptn using Helm. So you can access it using load balancer or notepod or few more options. And when you go to Helm, it's basically the same. So if you go here, you'll get options like if you want to have an ingress object or setting up Keptn. So basically it was same and it was using Helm. So I took these two pages, combined the pages into one and made a PR. But the thing is, I think Adam is not able to see this part of the content in my merged PR.
Okay.
So I will just say if you can just have a look at this PR and get your views on it.
I will. One thing that I should warn you about, anybody who's working with the Keptn LTS doc, go back to the display of the docs, please. There's a little nasty issue here that we need to deal with sometime, and I haven't. But that installation that's up at the top is not for the latest release. If you scroll down and go to 1.0, in the left down there, under there, you will find another installation section, which is very similar. I think what you're doing would apply to both, but it would be nice if you applied them to both.
Yeah, so it was a common one. I think it would be applied to the latest one only. Maybe you can have a look at it, and
It
if
is fine if you
if
put something in release 1 that's not in the main one up above. But it should be in release 1, because I think the pre-release 1 docs may be disappearing fairly soon, at
Mhm.
least from the page. So yes, let me go and I will go and take a look at this and see what you're doing.
Yeah, so
But that was a mess, so thank you for addressing it.
and I think Adam was not getting about the weights which we are using in documentation. So I just
Okay.
explained the use of weights, that it's for proper structuring of the docs section in, let's say, if you want this file to be above this file, so you have to give them the weight in order.
Okay, the weights are not, that numbered list on the landing page for installation is not automatic. So if you change the order of stuff, you'll need to manually modify
Yeah,
that
so
list.
I exactly did that, and explained Adam about using weights. So maybe you can have a look at this
Okay,
comment. He mentioned all the things he didn't get in this comment.
okay, I will look at that right after we're here.
Mhm.
That looks like it's pull, what is it, 1609? It's pretty small.
Mhm.
1609 is the right number?
Yes, 1609.
Okay,
It's here is as well. Maybe you can accept this, and it will be easy for you to navigate from here.
okay. Oh, that's right, yes, it is here. Okay, good. Does anybody else have anything that they're working on that they would like to show or ask questions about, or?
Yeah, I have one question. So, like, Meg, you told about that Keptn word list. So it should, like, we are going to put it in documentation, like in Google Docs only, or we are thinking to implement this on our on our Docs website as well.
The contributing?
No, that
Oh.
Keptn word list.
Oh, yeah, that right now, that is just a working list. That's why it's a Google Doc. We will eventually, and right now it's questions, not answers. It's, do I do this or this or this? Then when we discuss those as a community, as we agree to things, then they will go into a file that will be probably part of contributing someplace. Yes, it will go into the main repo eventually. Google Docs is wonderful for collaborating on stuff. It's not a good thing for permanent record. Is that okay? That's what you would like, right?
Yeah. And one more
Yeah.
thing, like we can do like this. We can also make like this a Keptn word list, like the CNCF glossary thing. So in the main repo, we can add one section of our word list, so that if anyone is beginner, and if anyone don't know the terms, that folk can refer to that word list.
Right.
Yeah.
That is the goal. The Google Doc is for us to get a list of terms that we need to
Yeah.
define for that.
Yeah, and
It's a
after that,
process.
we are going to put it in the website. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so Google Doc is just a brainstorming doc.
Yeah, got it. Yeah. Thank you.
And very few people are, in fact, I don't think anybody's yet added anything to it except me, and I haven't been real good about getting to it, so. Okay. I'm gonna go back and share my screen. And then some people have joined. We may go back and do something else. But for the contributing guide, we have we have what we call an epic. It is an issue that is tagged and contains a lot of pieces. For any of you who are really brand new to this and are looking for something that won't require a lot of research, etc., just a chance to get used to doing stuff, these are some things that would be, and we have separate tickets for each of them, that basically the information is already written up in 1 or 2 contributing.md files. And each of these separate issues, you go in, you find that information, and you turn it into a page in the contributing guide on the doc site. There's a couple where you'll need to merge information from 2 of them, and you might make some edits, you may improve it. But they'll be basically simple writing things. So if anyone here is looking for something simple to get started with, feel free to grab some of these. You can look at them and see what interests you, and ping me if you have questions. And we need to wait. Hopefully, I thought that PR was going to get merged last night and things happened. But hopefully, we do need to get the PR merged that has basically when we're done. Let me see where it is that I had it opened up here. Yeah, you could see it. Yeah, where are you? I got too many tabs open, you're right. There we go. Are you it? There we go. When this is merged, the landing page for the KLT docs will look like this. And if you go into contributing to Keptn, you will find this. And there's nothing more. If you go into one of these, you'll find nothing except the header. So to populate that, so if anybody is interested, since we have a lot of people here who are comfortable with it, let's talk about whether anybody has anything else they would like to discuss. And then if anybody wants to do the walkthrough of forking and cloning and creating a branch and doing a PR, they can stay on and we'll do that, and everybody else can go if you're not interested. Does anybody have anything else they'd like to discuss? If not, Eve, or you can sit around and we'll do the basics. And thank you all for coming. We'll be doing this meeting every week at this time. I will have an agenda open, so if you have anything you want to add to the agenda, go ahead and do that. And thank you very much. So do we have people here? I think I see at least one name who would like a basic walkthrough of working with Git.
I do. I really love that.
Pardon? You want to do that? Is everybody here game for this?
What was the question again, please, Mike?
Oh, if we do just a basic walkthrough of how you get set up with Git and how you create a PR. And
All right.
if you've been doing it, and if you have a question, if you're really experienced with Git, we don't do anything fancy. The purpose of this is, I admit I have a little cheat sheet that I keep with procedures. You know, this is basic stuff that if you're not really familiar with Git, if you do these things, it will work and keep you out of trouble. So,
All right.
okay. And so anybody, let's see, is somebody trying to put a chat in there? I can't see chat while I'm sharing, apparently. Okay. So shall we just walk through and do it? The first step, if you are brand new, is you need to go to, and this is all in the contributing.md file, starting with line 147, I think, so you can use that later. But you go to the root of the repo, and you click fork. And, oh, are you being nasty to me? Okay, I already have a fork, so this won't work. But if you go to fork, it will let you fork. It'll give you a question. Oh, if here, well, you create a new one. Right now it's saying that it should show your GitHub. You do need a GitHub ID if you don't already have one. Otherwise you do that and you click and you would get that. Since I already have one, let me go to mine. And if you click code, it gives you, you can access this through either HTTPS or SSH. I want SSH. And so I need that URL so I can clone it. So I just click there and it's copied. They've made this very nice lately. So I go into my working area. Are you seeing all this garbage on my screen or not? Oh, okay. Let's get rid of some garbage. There we go. And now what I have done, I create under my home directory, I have a file, I call it code, but I have all of my repos underneath there. And in there, actually, let me go over there and do another one. So here I would just type git clone, and then I can paste in the URL that I need. And it'll take a couple of minutes, but it'll see, and then you will end up with you will end up with a clone of it. So high points. If you get in trouble, you only have to do this once. So if you get in trouble, just holler and we'll help you out. So at Lifestool docs subdirectory, you need to go docs and then content and then en and then docs. And there you will see what we have. And you should recognize, if you've looked at the docs at all, I happen to be right now on this branch. So, okay, so let's say I have to have my old branch closed off, and I actually have my own little cheat sheet here where I keep this. And it's a mess because it's just for me. So, but I always want to go back and do a git checkout main. And then I'm going to git pull upstream main. And, oh, actually, before I do that, you will need to set up remotes if you're doing this for the first, but I have a remote. I have an upstream, which is defined, that's the main one. And origin is my particular fork of it. That will make sense now. So I'm going to pull upstream main. And that pulls up anything. Oh, and we're going to merge that. Okay. Oh. Shoot. Let me get rid of this. Okay. Sorry about that. And now I'm going to push what is in my fork, which is origin. And now I'm going to do git checkout -b, and let's call it 0309. I do that so they say that needs a unique name. It doesn't really matter, something that works for you. So that way I always know when I did it. And we'll call it office hours. It was sort of fast. Does that make to everybody who's Okay. And let's go in now. Now you will see, that's a good place to be. There are two different ways you can name your files here. One is you can just do a straight, and this is my preference. If you don't have a lot of graphics or whatever that you want to keep with it, you can just make it getting started. Just make a straight file there. Whatever you do at the top, you have some metadata. Find an existing file and copy it and modify it. You have the display title, the link title, a description, one option, and a weight, and that's going to determine the order that the different pages play out in the section. This is all in contributing. The other alternative is let's see. In this case, we have a directory called evaluate, and we have an underbar index.mdiv. Oh, wait a minute, that means I have some, if there's stuff on there. Oy. I know. Okay. I think that's not how it should be now. Okay, this is a bad place to be. I should have figured something out ahead of time. Okay, we're not going to do anything. Let's make it very simple. I want to get rid of that period at the end of the description. So I change the file and I close it off. I keep a window with all sorts of tabs in it. And Simon will tell you, most people think it's much easier to work with an IDE. I work straight in VI. But so now if I do git status, we see that I have modified that one file. So I'm going to, and there may be a lot of files, but I'm going to do git add dot. I can specify only one file if I want to, but I want to I want to make a commit out of everything that I made the change. I do that. Now I need to I need to commit it, and I need to, with every commit, I have to do a -s. There are other ways, and this is written up, but basically with every commit, you have to do something. It's a legal document to say that you are surrendering your ownership of this intellectual property to the Keptn project. So we do that. And then it's in VI. And I just make a very short period in title. I end that and I write that. Now, the lazy way, I can go just git push. That doesn't work. But it gives me the command I need. So all I need to do is I copy that, I paste it, and it executes. Are you with me?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So now I go to the repo. I go to the top level of the repo. It's got this little yellow thing that says that I had recent pushes to this branch, which is the branch I had, and I click compare and pull request. Sometimes it gives you this, so remove period in title for demo purposes. We'll make that so if anybody sees it. And then here, now if it's a substantive thing, if there is an issue related to this, you want to say this is the issue. You should write something here so that reviewers or anybody who looks at this knows what you're doing and why you're doing it. You can look at example commits that are there. It is in, if you're doing something that is related to an issue. Oh, this is an issue. So I'm going to copy that and I'm going to go back to where I am. And it's part of, here I am writing. I can use markdown syntax if I want to. If I want to see what it's going to look like, I can look at preview and you see it compresses that whole thing. But then with that, I can create a pull request. I click that, and there we go. And I can look at my pull request. And what did I do? Why is that in? Oh, I know. Never mind. It shouldn't be that way. Anyhow, that is, and now I'm going to go back because we really do not want this one. Oh, I will show you couple more tricks about this. If you're in general, the rule of thumb, it varies a lot, but the rule of thumb is that a PR should be roughly the amount of work that you could do in a day or less. If it's amount of work that you would do in a week, it's probably too big for a single PR. Not always, but think in terms of small stuff. But sometimes if you are working on something, you want to get it pushed up there, or you want somebody to see it actually or something, you might go ahead with this, but it's not ready to be merged. It's really not ready for official review or anything. And so you can go down here and at the bottom, it's, where is it? I can't find it now. Or is it up at the top? Wait a second. Ah, here we go. Over here, it says still in progress, convert to draft. And with that, so now it's a draft. If I come in and see this, I can see what you're working on. If you need help, I can look at it. We can talk about it. But if I don't know what it's up to, I look at it and it's like, yeah, I don't need to worry about this. And Simon, we'll talk later, but do you see this? And you saw me do commit-s, right? Simon, are you muted? I see you're moving, but I don't hear you.
Yeah, we are the only two left in here. So
are we the only ones left?
Yeah, but we can take a look shortly when you go scroll upwards to the top of the pull request. You have there.
It didn't show up there.
Yeah, you have here this commit. You have this section commits. We are now on the conversation tab. Can you go to the commits tab? Right below the title, you have there the commits, yeah. And here you see the different commits afterwards, and you will see that there is a merge. For example, there you have your merge commit, and you can all the files with the dot behind. So you see all the commits, and they have after the title they have this dot. For example, the first one. When you click on that dot, yes, you will see that it's signed off by Mac. But for example, the process go.mod file is not signed off. The merge branch main is not signed off.
Right.
And the remove period in title is signed, also is signed off. So you see which ones are signed, which ones are not signed.
That I get. What I don't get is I pulled down main, I pulled down upstream, I pushed up origin, and then I created my new branch. I removed one dot and I did one commit-s.
Okay, so I was not fully listening. I just I did things on the side. Can we go through the process once again? Can you shortly show me what you did?
Okay. Do you want me to do another one, another garbage one, or do we want to just do okay, so I guess we've got to actually that's not gonna work. We gotta go from the bottom, don't we? That'll be okay. There's my git push. There's my commit-s. There's my add dot. There's my git status. Checkout before that's push origin main. Before that is pull upstream main. And I checked that we showed the remotes. And there's git checkout main, my local
let's start
main.
with git checkout main.
Okay.
Okay, let's continue with the git pull from. Also, did you do a git fetch main?
No, I used to do fetch and then I was getting in trouble and Morris told me this was my old process. You know, is the recording, are we still recording?
We are still recording.
Should we stop?
And some and just Justus just came back at his.
Oh, Justice, are you still here? Okay,
Yeah.
she was the one that was interested in this. Justice, are you with us? We're looking at something because something happened that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, sometimes that shouldn't have happened. So, but
but-
I'm back in. So where I left, I remembered you were checking back on your.
There's even one. Do you ever work in main? Actually, you just do the.
No, I don't work in main, but I start with main and then I do a checkout dash B.
Yeah. Okay. Then there's This is.
I used for a long. Fetch all prune and then check out upstream main and then the checkout dash B.
Yeah, we changed something for you. If you're up to that, where should I send you chat messages?
Oh, good. I can't.
In Zoom or in
wait,
Slack?
there's chat. There's chat. Okay, I can see chat.
Okay, so I sent you something.
Okay.
Yeah. If you use that command I just sent you, your main branch will actually will actually always update against the upstream main branch instead you do not need to update every time the main branch. You know what I mean? So that means your local main will always fetch from the upstream main instead of your custom repository main, which make your process a little bit easier, because then you do not need to check out upstream main or things like that. You just do always git checkout main, git pull, and then you say git checkout new branch, and that's it.
Okay, I don't care, but it's functionally the same thing. It's why did it pull in? That's let's continue. This is. I mean, I've been doing this for months and months, and all of a sudden, all of my PRs, I'm doing commit dash s, and I'm ending up with these things that. So something has changed.
Maybe your main branch is not up to date with the with the upstream. So
well, no, that's why I check out main and then I push and pull and everything.
Yeah,
so that should bring my main up to date, right?
It depends normally. So can you I put a command into the chat. It's git diff main upstream / main. Can you put that into the command line?
Okay. We should actually, Justus, we're probably making things worse on Justus. Maybe we should do this later.
Okay.
Hold on just a second, Justus, and then we're going to go back and talk to you. We thought everybody else had gone, so we started doing this.
Okay, are you saying I should leave for a bit?
Huh? No, just stay there.
Okay, so I'm getting all right.
Okay. Simon, you this list. Just because you were the one, you actually needed this. Did that demo make it clearer what to do?
Yes, it does. It really does. So before now, I've always been pushing to my own repository, so I know how to commit. I know how to add all. So it is just you need to fork from somebody else's repository, then
that's what's new. Okay. Yeah.
That's what I've been used to.
Oh, okay.
So I rarely use Vim or VI. So I do prefer to use my text editor. That's Visual Studio
That's-
Code. So
that's fine.
most times it's not this complicated though. So
Uh,
but there is really a lot of gain concerning upstream and all, yeah.
yeah.
So but it's really helpful. Thank you so much for
Okay. And as
taking.
I say, if you go to the contributing file until somebody starts changing it, it's at line 147. I think all this stuff is in there. But yeah, but ping us if you have any problems. And yeah, see if you can get this forked and cloned. And then we'll talk about that contributing section would be a great place where you could do kind of a quick PR and work through the whole thing. Does that sound like something you want to do?
Yeah, I lost you for a sec. I guess it's my own network that
Yeah.
make your voice not a little.
Jump
Could you
jump
repeat
in and do
yourself
it.
again?
These will be easy and it's good to get your first one done because the first one there's a couple you get blocked. There's for so we want to make sure that we don't have a hacker come in and start throwing garbage in. So the first time you make a commit, one of our upper the head of the core engineering has to approve you. So there can be a lag of something there for, and then after that's done once, you'll be more quickly. So let's get you to get your first PR. We'll do one of the contributing sections as soon as I get that merge, which hopefully will be later today or certainly by tomorrow. And then,
Yeah.
and does that do it then? Shall we
Yeah,
call
yeah.
it a meeting?
Yes, we can call it a meeting. Thank you.
Okay.
But before we
Sure.
do,
Thank you. We'll talk to you. Oh, yes.
yeah, before we do call it a meeting, I was expecting for us to talk anything concerning GSOP,
Mm.
but is it not going to be here?
Yeah, and I tried to get somebody here. There's a little bit, we do plan to do GSOC, and I believe we can do, we're going to be doing it under the CNCF banner. And, do you have a project in mind?
For now, not yet.
But you're interested, but you would like to have one.
Yes, I'm really interested. So most especially cloud DevOps related.
Okay. Yes,
Yes.
lots of people are, and we'd love to have your participation. I think at the community meetings, next week, there will be people there who know more about where we are. There's been some administrative glitches along the way and ups and downs and people are busy and stuff. But I believe we are doing it. If you would like to propose a project, you can, or you can look. I think there are some proposed projects on. If you can't find it, let me know and I'll send you the link. We have an open PR in the community thing where you can log your interest. Actually, you should log there. I'll send you this in Slack, what you need to
All
do.
right. So what I'm expecting from you now is the link to the proposed project.
Yes. Yes.
So and see if I can be a mentee.
Yes.
In any of
and you're a member of the GSOC. You joined the GSOC channel on Keptn, right? On Slack.
Yes.
Yeah. Any updates will be there. Yeah. So we'll get you, and then we'll see how things go in the next. And you want to do coding, not doc, right?
Come and give me that.
You want to do software, not documentation, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Software. Software. Though not really made a lot of research on documentation. So, but with the little I've seen, it looks like something I'm going to enjoy doing though. But I've not done it before. I have not. So I'm going to do a couple of research on what it entails and see if it's something I'm going to like to.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
it might be interested in it.
Okay, terrific. Well, hopefully things are going to get clearer in the next couple of weeks. I'm confused too. So, yeah.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks so much for joining us, and we'll be talking to you soon. Bye.
All right. All right. Bye, Simeon. Thank you so much for your time, too.
Yeah. Okay.
But that means we also call this meeting
Yeah.
and end it because everything is recorded. If you want to take a look, as if I should take a look, or if you want to explore this further, we can do this in a separate Zoom.
Right.
Just send me a Zoom link and
It
we
may be
can.
the only way to stop the recording is to end the meeting, so.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing. Do you want to do it now, or why did you, well, you're just up early. You want to go take a break before stand-ups?
Also, it's still an hour till stand-ups.
Right, so you want to break? Or you want to just?
I will grab a coffee and we'll take breakfast, and afterwards we can. So in roughly half an hour, I would be somewhat ready each.
Okay, okay, that sounds good. And I'm gonna
Great.
close, I'm gonna close that bogus PR I just created.
Yeah.
Okay,
Great.
enjoy your coffee. Bye.